want to talk about something that I've seen on this channel. I think it's really fun and it really does inspire me to see people doing this. So, generally, what happens with some people that have joined along on this whole reciprocity journey is they start watching it because they're feeling bad about the PhD journey, or they're feeling bad about research. They're feeling bad about themselves. They have somebody in their family that is dealing with the whole academic thing. And so they start paying attention to what's going on. And then they start paying attention and they start getting excited about some of the messages that I say. Sometimes they get really, sometimes they get angry, and then they leave some comments in various different ways, or they feel good about themselves and leave some comments in various different ways, and they follow for some time, and then they disappear. And I'm like, what happened there? And what happens is that over the course of a few years, I start seeing them popping up again. And they're doing really good inside. They have very much changed inside. And I encourage you to think about this in terms of your own journey. And this is my journey too, as I'm going through things and sort of collectively thinking through stuff that's going on in my mind in terms of how I deal with things, is that this is all a very much a journey towards thinking about how I could be good, where I look at the rest of the world and I just say, screw it. Screw all of that stuff. I'm going to be solid. I'm going to build a base inside here. And regardless of what's actually going on and the sort of frustrations that other people feel, I'm going to be good inside here. And I'm just going to walk forward doing this myself. So when you go into a PhD, or you go into research, or you go into the real world, it doesn't matter, right? Like, you're doing life, whatever that is, right? And you're doing life from day one, right when you're born. But you have all of these things where people tell you that this is the way that things should be, and everything should be laid out in front of you. Or if you just do these courses, or if you just read these books, then your whole life is going to be set up for you, and things are going to go easy. And then you do it, you go into these courses. This is what happens a lot. You read all of these books and stuff, and you realize, shit, this is not changing anything. The only thing that's changing is some of my thoughts on things. For everything else, I still feel anxious. I still feel that I'm trying to get validation from somebody. In fact, the validation gets way more worse when you are doing the whole research thing. You're really feeling that, where you're like, I need to impress other people, and they don't get impressed, right? Like, the world does not get impressed with what you're doing, and then you get frustrated and you think, man, screw this. And hopefully I want to sort of get you to think about that moment where you're like, I don't need any of that stuff. Yes, that validation does feel good. Yes, that we're all sort of seeking for something, whatever that is, right? We're sort of wanting other people to like me, right? Like, that's essentially it. But you got to come to the terms of, like, nobody is going to like you unless you simply like yourself. And you don't need anybody. I want you to get to the point of thinking about the world in the sense that I am good. And if somebody wants to join me on my journey, well, that's great. They can join me on my journey, but I'm not going to go out of my way to encourage them to join on my journey. I have this inner strength where I just have quiet confidence inside. And I love that term of quiet confidence, which I can't remember where I got it from. But the idea is that you are just confident in that, yes, you're a nervous wreck inside, right? Like, I'm always nervous, I'm always anxious, that never goes away. But I can go into a situation though, like, oh shit, I'm panicking, I got nothing. And I'm an idiot, and I got all these frustrations, and I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm going to have quiet confidence inside. I'm going to say, you know what? everybody else is just as crappy inside as I am. Everybody else is a disaster, and I'm going to walk forward. And you're going to see people do things that you're like, man, I didn't expect that to happen to come from that person. But, or, I expected that person for that to happen. But, you just have that quiet confidence where you're kind of like, there's this scene, I think it was like the Pirates of the Caribbean, where everything's blowing up around this person. They're just walking forward down the ship. And I want you to sort of think about that. Like, the whole world is falling apart all around you, but you're just walking forward and doing your thing. You're happy with who you are inside, and you have this quiet confidence where you can look at the world and you realize that there is a lot of stuff that's going on, and everybody else is trying to do all of these things, but you yourself, you're just going to be walking forward where you are confident that you kind of can keep going, and it doesn't matter what they think of you. It doesn't matter, all of the if you need to go do something that somebody's not going to disapprove of, that's fine. Just go and do it, right? Barring you don't do anything that's dangerous and harmful for other people. But, go do those things that are good for you. If it means for you to go get a job in a different area that people are not going to approve of, go do that. If it means you, doing something kooky, like being on the internet like this, go do that, right? It doesn't hurt anybody, and it's a positive thing that is happening, and people are going to disapprove of it, but who cares, right? I think you need to have that quiet confidence inside to do things where you walk forward and you simply say, so what? What's going to happen? And as you do that, as you get that quiet confidence and you feel good about yourself, things start changing in the sense of how you deal with things inside. Now, I'm always thinking about, am I doing the right thing? Is this, should I be doing this? All those kind of questions are going in my mind, and I always default to saying, I just try to do what's good inside to make it so I feel good. And if it means that I feel good inside, then hopefully other people are going to feel good inside around me that are close to me. I can't change those people that are close to me. I can't change all of the surroundings, but I can certainly change myself. And if I focus on being solid inside, well, then if the rest of the world is falling apart, that's fine. Let it fall apart. Let them do their thing. And I'm going to walk forward trying to be a kind and generous person as best as my ability. And sometimes that ability is not that good. And that's okay too. That is totally fine. That's what it means to be a human being, where you're just okay. And if other people get frustrated and they get anxious and they start yelling and all that kind of stuff, oh well, let them do that. That's where you just walk forward and you just stay confident and quiet. And you just are like, I'm okay. I think that this is a good thing for me, and it's probably a good thing for other people. And I want you to go through those moments where you go through, first of all, you're going to pay attention to this channel and you're probably going to be all excited. Then you're going to go through a moment of like, I don't know what he's talking about, or, those moments where you do that and then you disappear. And then you get all of this quiet confidence. So hopefully it sort of sticks with you, where you walk ahead and you say, I don't need to get validation. I don't need to get all of this stuff that everybody else is trying to strive for around me. I could just be okay. I think that is what we actually want. All right, take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye.